What up, everyone? I'm Jack Slater, aka the Comic Outlaw. Yeah, yeah. I'm just pouring them out today, doing some shooting. Got back from a little looting, if you know what I'm saying, and I'm feeling good. I'm feeling fine. Oh yes, I am, sexy motherfucker. Anyways, we're gonna be doing a movie review, and I did a Kevin Smith movie recently. Will's more of a Jason Mewes movie. Now I'm gonna touch with a classic Kevin Smith movie. Check it out, Dogma. Yes, this movie was banned by the Catholic Church, and it actually brought up sales. A very interesting past with this movie. This is a Kevin Smith movie. I do believe it's his fourth film, somewhere around there. And this story revolves around two angels, Bartleby and Loki, played by Matt Damon and Ben Affleck, respectively. And this is back in like 2000. This is a while back ago. So this movie also has Chris Rock in it. Of course, Jay and Silent Bob, Salma Hayek, Alan Rickman, bunch of people. Let's see, Linda Fiorentino. That's how you say her name. And yeah, she plays the part of Bethany. And Bethany works for an abortion clinic who's kind of losing her faith. She's Catholic. And she comes into play later. She's like the chosen one. Of course, there's always a chosen one. And Bartleby and Loki have been kicked out of heaven since the Dark Ages, since they went off. They got very drunk. They had a philosophical discussion. Loki was the angel of death. Matt Damon was a Gregory. They watched people's sins and they recorded them for when they died. You know, he could stand there and snitch them out, basically. And so they have a drink, and after many, many drinks, inebriated, Loki goes up to God, throws down his fiery sword, says that he quits, and then proceeds to give God the finger. And yeah, so they kind of get in trouble. So they get banished, you know, to the earth. And when the world ends, they have to sit outside the gates for all time. So that's how pissed off God was. And of course, they're in angel form, so they have no dicks. Yes, angels are as smooth as Ken dolls down there. But anyways, they clue into this loophole in Dogma. Since Cardinal Glick, who was played by George Carlson, he was a comedian back in the day. And it is just very interesting because what ends up happening is, let's see if I can find his name here. What ends up happening is they end up trying to redo the church. His name's Cardinal Glick in the movie, and he's doing this campaign wild thing where he's trying to bring back, you know, people to the Catholic Church, and he makes like a smiling Jesus, which is freaking hilarious, buddy Christ. And like I said, great part. And so what happens is if you go through these arcs on this time of the day, you will be given a moral clean slate, and then you can go to heaven. So they found a loophole. They would cut off their wings, become human, go through the arches, and then all they have to do is die. And in theory, they'd go to heaven. Now, this is the problem. God, in all the secrets of the universe, in this universe, is based on one thing, that he is infallible. He is always right. To prove God wrong would unmake all existence. Everything. Poof. Just like that. So these guys have to be stopped. And that's where the Metatron comes in. One of my favorite characters, played by Alan Rickman. And yeah, he appears to Bethany. He tells her that she must go on this quest. And Alan Rickman just steals the show as the Metatron. The Metatron is the voice of God. And yeah, he tells her that she will be met by two prophets. And guess who the prophets are? I'll give you a hint. Snoochie Boochies. That's right. Jay and Silent Bob are the motherfucking prophets, yo. And they also get help from an apostle that falls from heaven. He was the 13th apostle, Rufus. He was basically written out of the Bible because he was a black guy. That's actually his story. And yeah, he joins them on their quest along with a sexy muse, angel that does inspiration, played by the tasty Salma Hayek. And man, there's one part where she's dancing around in a strip club, and I'm not hating, man. I loved it from Dusk Till Dawn, and I love it now. You'd be like, Candy Girl, all my world. Oh, I'm just getting flashbacks right now. Whew, gotta calm down. God damn. Anyways, this is a wonderful movie. It does have a lot of comedy in it, but there's a lot of heart. It does talk about faith and the difference in between having ideas and having faith. There's a lot of interesting discussions in here between the characters. And let's see. Of course, there has to be a bad guy, and there is a bad guy. He's kind of a demon, and he kind of is the one that put all this together. And yeah, he's the one that kind of like sent everything into motion, and basically he wants to unmake creation. And this was played by the guy who did My Name is Earl. He does a wonderful job in this. And yeah, he's like the main bad guy. And what he basically wants to do is he simply just does not want to exist. And if he has to erase everything and punish everyone for it, then so be it. Yeah, so this is the guy that's pulling the strings. And the reason that he became a demon is because when the war went down, he decided not to fight on either side. He was just waiting in the wings to see who would win. Like a fucking wuss, you know. So for his cowardice, he was banished to hell. A crime that he felt, you know, was so cruel. And I think he deserved it. But anyways, yeah, he's the one putting all this into motion. Like I said, this movie's over 2 hours long, but it's good as hell. It's worth watching. There's a lot of funny parts in it. There's the classic Jay and Silent Bob humor, which you're not aware of. It's a style all to itself. It is. It's a style all to itself. This movie's very good. Like I said, it's funny. It has a lot of emotional parts in it, like when the Metatron explains who Bethany really is and why she was tapped, which is a very important moment that they have. So there's a few serious moments sprinkled in here and there. And of course, a god is a female, and God is Alanis Morissette in this movie. Isn't that ironic? Don't you think? I had to say it. It was just right there. I mean, sometimes low-hanging fruit is the tastiest, if you know what I'm saying. But, yeah, I love this movie, Dogma. It's just a classic Kevin Smith movie. And some people were offended by it, but you got to have a sense of humor. And I do believe the spiritual being, the big guy, big woman, whatever it is up in the sky has to have a sense of humor because people laugh. They enjoy things. And I like this movie. It takes itself seriously without taking itself too seriously. Great acting in it. And there's a bunch of different surprises. And this is in the View Askew universe, so of course you'll get an appearance by Mubi, the Golden Calf, the place. They work in Clerks 2. So certain things in the View Askew universe kind of carry on, and that is one of the interesting things about this movie is it is one universe. It's a universe that existed before the Marvel universe because that seems to get all the credit for being one of the first people to build universes when other creators were doing that before. And yes, there are appearances from other actors that have been in Clerks and other such movies. Very cool. Very, worth the watch. This is possibly one of my favorite Kevin Smith movies. I'm probably going to have to make a list because it would be very hard to list this up there. I mean, this easily fights in the top 3. It rotates from time to time. So, yeah, funny as hell. Ben Affleck, Matt Damon, they do a great job in this movie playing those two angels. They get a lot of screen time. They have a lot of good moments together. Ben Affleck and Matt Damon have a chemistry together. It's really cool to watch. And it's nice to see them in something besides Good Will Hunting, where it's very serious and very dramatic. These guys were able to cut loose a little bit. And this is earlier in their career, but it's still worth watching. So you get another look at it. And I bought this just in the bargain bin. I found it. I was elated. I was happy. I wanted to do a show on it. So here we are. So yeah, check out Dogma. Kevin Smith. Written and directed by Kevin Smith. Good movie. One hell of a good watch. And as always, I'm the Comic Outlaw. And I'll catch you on the flip side. Yeah!